Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is me. It is Clayton. And I just got out of seeing Keanu. Now, I'm a big fan of Key and Peele. I think they're quite a talent when it comes to their comedy. And in a similar fashion to other comedians I love, like Will Forte or Seth Rogen, it seems like some of their sketches are misses, but the ones that are funny are insanely funny. And in this film, Keanu, I really think that it's like a Key and Peele sketch. Some jokes don't hit very well, but the ones that hit make it insanely funny to watch. So the premise of this film is about these two guys, Clarence and Rel, played by Key and Peele, who have to go through who have to join a gang called the 17th Street Blips, and they have to act like gang members in order to save Peele's character, Rel's, adorable little cat named Keanu. That's essentially most of the story. The whole story revolves around these two average Joes being involved in a street gang in Los Angeles called the 17th Street Blips in order to save an adorable little kitten named Keanu. And yes, it's a little short on plot, but who cares? It's absolutely hilarious. There are a couple of jokes that run on a bit too long. You'll know the running gags when you see them and when you hear them. But the ones that aren't running gags are usually very funny. And in a true Key and Peele style, there are tons of references to other films and TV shows. Everything from Shining to Mad Max Fury Road to The Matrix, a lot of other ones too. Speaking of The Matrix, Keanu is even voiced by Keanu Reeves at one point. I mean, it's not a reference to his character in The Matrix Neo, but I still found it to be a clever reference. Now, Key and Peele really do make for a great comedy duo, and as Clarence and Rel, they are very likable protagonists. They're just trying to go through all of this to get an adorable little kitten, and when you see how a cute little kitten is, you can see why Clarence, Rel, and even the gang members absolutely fall in love with the little guy. And there are other cast members, such as Method Man and Luis Guzman, but most of them seem to fit typical roles. Like Method Man's gang leader, Cheddar, isn't exactly a very interesting antagonist. He's mostly just there to, act threatening and to drive the plot forward. But Method Man plays him well, so I didn't mind. Same goes for Luis Guzman's character. He's not exactly a guy who's in the movie for that long, but when he finally does appear, he does provide for some good scenes. One other thing that I need to mention about this film is that it is an R-rated film for a reason. There's a huge amount of violence. There is a ton of sexual content, especially in the scenes involving strip clubs. I am not joking. And as a Key and Peele movie with a mostly African-American cast, there is, of course, a lot of uses of the N-word. And I am not ever going to use that word. Don't worry. The one character that I really liked in this movie, other than Key and Peele's character, Clarence and Rel, was High C, the only female gang member, seemingly, of the 17th Street Blips, played by, I believe her name's Tiffany Hadson? Yeah, Tiffany Hadson. She may seem like a typical tough girl at first, but she's actually involved with a very interesting plot twist that I won't spoil here, but it makes her a rather interesting character and a subversion of the typical sassy black woman type that I see so often in movies, and that's what makes me cringe. She actually plays her role well, and she does a good job playing off of the comedy of both Clarence and Rel. Now, another thing that I need to mention are the action sequences. Yes, there are a few action sequences where our protagonists get involved in gun battles, and they are as ridiculous as Fast and Furious. There's a ton of slow-mo, there's blood everywhere, there's tons of people shooting each other and throwing clips of ammo and getting shot in the arms and legs and the chest. It's crazy. And there's even a couple of stunts used throughout. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. You have to see it to believe it. Now, it's true that the budget of the film is relatively small in comparison to other comedies, like, I don't know, Hangover and Deadpool, but I, but the cast and crew of Keanu make good use of it, as they only use a few locations and a few gun battles and put most of the focus on the comedy and the one-liners. And the comedy and the one-liners carries the film forward. So, the way I see it, with great comedy, with great characters, and with a sense of fun throughout, I give Keanu an 8 out of 10. It's true that if you hate Key and Peele's type of comedy, you won't like the film at all, but as a fan of the show, I just could not stop smiling and even laughing at jokes throughout. Key and Peele, you made me proud. And as a message to the little Keanu, keep being cute. See you next time. Don't bring your kids to this film. Trust me.